Outlandish does $50 million a month for companies. They have the top TikTok Shop brand signed to them.
And I walked down Oxford Street and shops are shutting down. I walked, like in the UK, I'm like, retail is struggling. And we trained 1,000 sellers on how to sell. And our goal was to grow the market with TikTok Shop as fast as possible.
Yeah, top 3 biggest celebrities that you've had come do TikTok Shop.
Nicki Minaj, Jason Derulo,
Kevin Hart.
Or Hannah Berner. When I heard the US was opening, I immediately flew over to LA and I met with TikTok and I said, you have to have me as an agency. I know exactly what to do. No,
You were the first agency?
Yeah, the TikTok Shop team had 2 people.
Do you think that you are going to be the first social commerce billionaire in America? Welcome back to the #1 social commerce podcast. Today we have the most important guest that I've ever had on my podcast, my favorite guest of all time. Today we are joined by the CEO, founder of Outlandish. Are you CEO or just founder?
I'm both.
Okay. William August. Will has an incredible track record of the world of social commerce. He is bringing, single-handedly, leading the charge of taking it from what they're building in China and adapting it in the United States. Will's company, Outlandish, does $50 million a month for companies. They have the top TikTok Shop brand signed to them. He has the the first in the US of its kind. You walk in there, there is booth. They are live streaming, selling their products every single day, and this is in a public place. Will, sorry for the long intro. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here. And I want to share any knowledge I have to the audience as well, because we want to get this up and running 100%. As fast as possible.
So I walk into Outlandish. I go to Santa Monica, and you guys are hosting events on TikTok Shop. Mm-hmm. What is the inspiration behind the build that you guys have done, the live stream sets? How did you even come up with that idea?
Long story short, well, it doesn't have to be short, does it?
It doesn't have to be short.
So long story. So I lived in China for a long time, and I saw a lot of live streams happening in China. And the way that they do it in China, as it's more of a mature platform, is people are opening TikTok to shop. That's the purpose, is to shop. And so the sets for live streams in China are very professional, because that's what people want when they go shopping.
So they don't get on the app to be entertained. They're just there like Amazon to buy what they need.
Some people, yeah, a percentage. And at least they're not surprised when they are seeing shoppable content. Yeah.
It's more adapted.
Yeah. Like, I think in many markets, if you look at like the Philippines, I think Indonesia, TikTok is the biggest e-commerce platform in some of these markets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is insane. So look, man, I mean, we're hearing a lot of Gary Vee saying $500 billion in China, but you lived in it. Mm-hmm. You lived in China.
Yeah.
Paint the picture of what's going on in there. I don't think anybody that I'm going to speak to is going to have a better idea of what they're building than you.
Yeah. So it's kind of like social media in China, social commerce in China. I saw the rise of that around, it must have been 2018, 2019, right when I started Outlandish. So I started as a creator. I was the first Western influencer in the China market.
Really?
Yeah, the first one. You can look it up. The first one.
That's crazy.
So and the main reason is that some of the platforms that I registered to was actually quite difficult to register if you're not a Chinese speaker. So generally speaking, if you're not fluent in Chinese, you wouldn't even understand what was happening, right? So I registered on the platform. I answered all the questions because there was like there's like a barrier to entry to these platforms. I don't know why, but you have to answer a quiz to even register.
Really?
Yeah. I think they still have it.
To like be a creator?
To be a user. You have to answer like 30 questions.
And if you fail the test, you can't
register.
That's crazy. What kind of questions do they ask?
It was mainly about like cultural like animations, because it started off as like it was actually a Japanese copycat. Okay. So it was originally, the YouTube of China originally was made to watch Japanese anime.
Like illegally?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they transitioned, because obviously the law started catching up. They were like, okay, we need to transition.
Right.
And they transitioned into like user-generated content like YouTube.
Yeah.
And so that was around the time that I decided to join the platform. It was 2015. I just graduated university. I was watching a lot of YouTube, and I figured because I graduated from a Chinese university. I speak fluent Mandarin. I figured.
What was the inspiration behind going to a university in China?
Okay, we keep going backwards.
I want to know the whole thing.
Okay.
I want to know the whole thing. I'm so curious.
All right. So I went to China traveling. I had no intention of staying.
Okay.
I was studying computer science in Kingston University in London, and because when I was younger, I kind of like a hobbyist. I was kind of like a hobbyist into computer science. So I was making websites. I had my own animation website. You know, when you're at school and you go on these.
Right.
I owned the website.
Oh wow.
So basically, I was really into programming. I was into Flash animation, and I went to university, and they said, in the first year, we're just going to go through theory. And I was like, this isn't for me. I'm kind of like, I'm a self-learner.
Right.
I can just read the book in the night and figure it out.
Right.
So I realized this is kind of bad, but if I dropped out of university in the first month, I get all of my tuition.
Oh wow.
So I used that tuition and I fucked off.
You found a loophole.
I went straight to Southeast Asia, as a lot of Brits do. I landed in Singapore. I traveled up to Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand, Laos. I ended up staying in Laos for around 4 to 5 months, just working and getting free lodging and working in a bar. So you're kind of thinking, where is this going, right?
Right.
So this was the second time I went. The first time I went back, saved up some more money, and I went because I knew the owner of the bar. Okay. So I stayed in this bar for 4 months in Laos, in the village, and it was great. I loved it, but I realized that's not a career. Right. And I needed to do something. The owner of the bar was Chinese. That is literally the only reason I went to China.
What?
Yeah.
That is insane.
Because I was planning on going to Australia.
Okay.
And she said, well, you're like literally right next to China. Laos on the border of China. Why don't you just go to China? There's a bus. And I said, all right. So back then it was a lot easier. It was 2010. I gave my passport to some bro, and he was like, all right, I'll sort you out a visa, $40, I think it was. And he just came back in a week and was like, here's your Chinese visa. I didn't even go to the embassy. That was just like, back then, this is how it worked. Right. And I was like, sweet, where do I get this bus? He just flag it down. So I was still on the side of the road in the village in Laos, flagged down a bus, and it drove me 36-hour bus, by the way. No one told me it was 36 hours. I was like, die. Have you been on a 36-hour bus? Never. Through a mountain? You want to die. After the 12th hour, it's not fun. Anyway,
you need to make a movie about your life.
There was a French guy in there as well, I remember. And back then, I didn't speak a word of Chinese. So got off the bus. I'm going to text my mom or Facebook my mom. I arrived. Facebook's blocked, right?
What do you mean Facebook's blocked?
Facebook's blocked. Google's blocked. Facebook's blocked.
In China?
Yeah. Everything's blocked.
So when you realize it's blocked, what do you think?
I was just like, oh, fuck me then. I was like, all right. So that was like halfway to we stopped halfway through. I eventually got to Kunming, which is like the closest big city to Laos. And I got off the bus and I tried to find my way to the hotel. No one speaks English. Right. And I'm like, what have I done? what have I done here? So I eventually found my way to the hostel. It took me like 4 hours because no one spoke English and I can't read the map. And I realized I needed to learn Chinese if I wanted to travel in China, or I need to leave. And I thought, no, I'm not going to give up. Right. So I spoke to a guy in the hostel. This is literally it. And I said, I need to learn some Chinese. Where do I learn? He said, go to university. I'm like, is that a joke? And he's like, no. And I walked with him literally into university. And I said, can I learn Chinese? They said, yeah. For how long? It's like, give me a week. I was like...
It's not like America over there where you have to enroll in semesters and there's all these...
I think now it is. Okay. But back then, they were like...
Teaching just classes.
Like, why is there a white guy here? Like, there is not many foreigners. They're like, you want to learn some Chinese. So I signed up for 1 week and I realized I learned basically nothing because it was so difficult, right? Right. And then I was like, all right, give me a month. For a month, I was like, this is, all right, I'm getting there. And then I said, sign me up for a semester. So I studied for a semester. And then at that point, I realized this is pretty good. I'm pretty good at Chinese. I'm learning pretty quickly. And I remember one day I looked at the economy of China. I'm like, this makes sense, actually. Right. If my Chinese is better than Chinese people speaking English, no matter what I do, I'm not really going to struggle for a job. That was my thinking back then. Yeah. So my goal was...
You found a gap in the market.
Yeah, I'm going to learn Chinese, so that I speak it better than they speak English. And then I just signed up for a bachelor's degree, 4 years. And after my second year, I transferred to another university in Guangzhou, which is slightly like a better university, because that was like a small university.
Right.
In American terms, it's small, but it's China, it's big.
Right.
But I went to a better university and I graduated from Sun Yat-sen Zhongshan Dashi in Guangzhou. And that was the reason I went to China. It wasn't really a reason.
So then you're in China and you start adapting to the culture.
Yeah.
They're already doing social shopping at this time.
No. Back then, no.
It wasn't around when you were back.
Nah, like I barely had a smartphone. People were like still working in cash back then.
How did social shopping start in China, and what did the big growth and boom look like?
Oh, that's a good question. Back when I was in China, we were using QQ, which is Tencent. You know Tencent? They now own like League of Legends.
Okay.
Yeah, back then they had QQ, instant messaging.
Got
ding,
it.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so then they came out with WeChat, which was like an advanced version.
Right.
And then they started having like Youku and Tudou and these video platforms. They were kind of like, TV on websites. It was all, everyone was kind of just figuring it out. Bilibili came out. Weibo, which was kind of like Twitter, was around, and Weibo was really big back then. But no one was really selling through it. It was just like the first version. I'm going to watch a video. Oh, awesome. I can watch my favorite anime on Bilibili. Copyright laws weren't really very strong back then, so you could basically watch whatever you want for free, which was great for me. And then I think it must have been around 2018 when I started getting, because I haven't even got into my creator side yet, but I started getting requests for me to start live streaming. And I didn't understand back then. I was like, why? That doesn't make any sense. You want me to live stream and sell this? They were like, yeah. And I made like a couple of sales, and they were like, oh, awesome. Because I sold like hair transplant services, because I got a hair transplant.
You were selling them?
Yeah. So I got I think I signed up like a couple hundred people to do hair transplants.
What made you want to do hair transplants? The money was good?
No, because my hair was falling out. That's why.
No, not why did you do it?
No,
but why specifically were you selling that?
Because my hair transplant was a brand deal. So I got it for free.
Uh-huh.
And then every person I signed up to get it.
So you just saw a good opportunity
I got
and you
commission.
just went for it?
Yeah, I got commission on sales. And
but there was not like big selection, like I could do this, I could do that. It was just like, hey, do you want to do this? And you just started.
On the hair transplant?
Like what I'm saying, was there a big selection of things that you could have sold and you chose that one? Or
No,
it just was the opportunity that came to you?
No, that was just the opportunities that came to me. I wasn't like, when I was a creator, I wasn't really doing the shopping content. It was a little bit later that happened.
So how do you sell a hair transplant on?
It's very difficult. It's basically me just describing like the hair transplant journey and then showing before and afters.
It's an in-person thing that people do?
It was online. Like I live streamed it to my followers.
But then but I'm saying the hair transplant process, like
in person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you have to target the locals.
Yeah, but they had like hospitals in every city.
Oh, okay. It was like everywhere.
It's like they're a big company in China.
Got it. That's insane. And you start making commission off everybody that's getting a hair transplant.
Yeah, that wasn't like a big
but that
deal
was the
for me.
Start.
But that was the first time I did live selling. Yeah, I found it very awkward. And then I had a couple of others after that. I can't even remember what I was selling, like some food or something. I was not a good live streamer back then. I didn't understand. I was like, I didn't, because that's the thing. If you're a creator and you have these followers that like your funny videos or whatever you like, your cultural difference videos, and then suddenly you start going on live selling a hair transplant, it's very, like, even for me, it feels uncomfortable for me to do that to the followers, because that's not what they subscribed for.
Right.
And so that's kind of the transition that I wasn't able to do as a creator. And I didn't understand back then the opportunity that it was to convert creators. Because back then I knew nothing about e-commerce, nothing about real business. I literally graduated from university, became a creator, basically became a YouTuber.
Right.
And then like a few years later, looking back on it, I understand why they were wanting me to do that.
So we're talking about how you kind of got into social shopping, but let's take a step back at your creator journey. Will was one of the biggest creators in China that was an American. But it's interesting what you were doing
not
because you were no, you're not American. You're British.
Yeah.
So the non-Chinese, one of the biggest non-Chinese influencers.
Correct. Yeah.
So you're doing this. What inspires you to create? Like, when did you start creating, and how big did you get? Like, tell us about your whole creator journey.
Yeah. So I graduated from university 2015. I went back home because at that point I was in China for like 5 years. I was meant to be there for a couple of months kind of thing. And my parents were like, are you ever coming back?
Right.
And I was like, I better come back.
Yeah.
It didn't last long though. So I went back. I started working at Huawei, which is like kind of like the Google of China.
Okay.
They make phones and
Right.
whatever. I was working in the supply chain. Didn't particularly enjoy the job, but I spoke Chinese. I was actually only hired because I spoke fluent Chinese, by the way. I know nothing about the supply chain.
So what helped you?
Yeah, the manager had like an accent from and his English was terrible, and I was the only person that could understand him. And they had a quota to hire local people.
That's crazy.
But anyway, so I went into that company. But I was always like, I was into animation and programming and stuff. So that was always like kind of my passion. I wasn't really into videos. I was into watching videos. I'm a very introvert person in general. So it never really occurred to me that I would want to be an influencer. And so I basically fall into everything, right? So my sister said, like, YouTubes are getting big now outside of China and in the UK and whatever. And I was watching Casey Neistat. I was watching like the Logan Paul. I thought they were very creative with the way that they made content. And I thought might be an opportunity to do something similar in the China market.
Again, another gap in the industry. Because you're not like, I want to be the next Casey Neistat, I want to be the next Paul. You're like, I want to do what they're doing and bring it to a different market where it's needed.
Yeah. So I started like some WeChat groups. I started making content, and my content was literally like me in the car with I had like a little suction thing in my phone.
Yeah, holding up the phone.
I think I was using a Samsung or something back then. And then I would just film my commute to work. I would just literally just talk about, this is something that happens in China and in the UK. This is how we work over here. And they would find it very interesting. And I would do like UK slang. People used to love watching my slang videos. And then I would translate to the slang in Chinese, and they thought it was hilarious, right? It's kind of funny.
Right.
And so they would watch that, and I had a WeChat group, and it grew to like the maximum capacity of the group. And I'd make another WeChat group, and I'd make another WeChat group. So obviously there was some demand there, because everyone was just inviting their friends to these WeChat groups to learn from me and watch my videos. And then at that point, I was like, okay, let's figure out where to upload these videos and send them the links. Because it's like really early stage. I didn't even know where to upload. So I asked around, I heard Youku, which is like literally Youku, I'm pretty sure was named after YouTube. So it has it like Yo.
Right.
So I started uploading there. And I didn't get much viewership because it's more like a TV channel where you'd watch TV on there, not UGC.
Right.
And then I uploaded to Bilibili. And that's where I just kind of blew up very quickly. I was uploading for a couple of months, and I got to around 10,000 followers. And at that point, I realized I can probably do it full time. And I just quit my job. I moved back in with my parents, and I'm like, I'm just gonna grind it out and see how far I can take it.
So you have access to those social media platforms back in the UK?
Yeah, you can access them. Yeah.
Can you access them in America?
Yeah.
You're still posting on them, right? You said.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you can access them. It's just in Chinese.
Right.
So.
then how are you making your income at this point?
That's an interesting, because you can't make money on AdSense back then. There was no views for money.
Right.
Because there wasn't really that many people advertising on the platform. So the only way I could make money was to sell to my followers. So the name, my name in Chinese is Fu Lin Fang, which means a lot of people in China don't even know this. It's I wanted to find a domain name to sell. So I had to pick a name that I could buy the domain name for, and I built a website. And so actually my first business venture was an e-commerce website for my influencer account. So it's called fulinfang.com. And Fulin means Fulin Guo, means Byzantine Empire, which basically means like Rome, right? So the thinking behind that was Western, because I wanted to sell Western stuff. Fang means market, so it was Western market. And my Chinese fans, most of them don't even know that.
Right.
Anyway, so
what is the inspiration behind selling Western stuff?
it's just something that I think my fans would buy.
And what do you mean by what is Western stuff?
So this is one of my first businesses on my creator. I went to a candy wholesale market and I'd buy UK candies because the Chinese you can't buy them out there.
Right.
And I made a subscription box.
Like the foreign snacks.
Foreign snacks, yeah. Subscription box of UK sweets. And I had a business partner in Kunming back when I studied, and I would ship it to him, and it would get stuck in customs half the time, and then he would repack it, and then would ship it out to my followers. So I was making, I was making like maybe $10,000 a month doing that. So at the end of all my videos, I would have like a theme tune that was lollipop, anyways, and then it'd be like buy the candy at fullandfang.com, and then I realized I should have just opened a Taobao shop, which is like eBay. Why am I making my own e-commerce website?
Right.
It's kind of dumb.
You can do it on a platform.
Shopify doesn't exist. People don't really use websites in China. They just use apps. So I think I took too much of the Western influence over to China. I should have just used the existing apps. So that business venture kind of didn't last too long. But the candy sold very well. Until it all started melting, I got a lot of complaints. It's
it's kind of full circle that you're doing candy now, which we'll get into later. But that's insane. So you're getting a taste of the social shopping. I'm trying to paint the picture here of kind of like how your mindset came. You're the biggest, one of the biggest Chinese creators, not Chinese creators, but in the Chinese platform. Yeah. And how, like, do you get involved in TikTok at that point? Is there TikTok over there that you got involved in?
Douyin. Yeah, so when Douyin first launched, everyone hated it in China. All the creators were like, fuck Douyin.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Was there a lot of, that's one of the questions I want to ask too. Is there a lot of haters in like Chinese social media? Because I know here is bad. It's the same way?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it worse?
I think it's worse.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So the new Douyin comes out and it's owned by ByteDance at this point?
Yeah. So ByteDance had an app called 今日头条 before, and that was like a news app. That was like the first time I heard of ByteDance. And that app did pretty well, but it was more like for news. So you'd open it up, see what the daily news is, and then they're kind of replacing newspapers. And then they launched Douyin, and they had a couple of other ones like Xigua Shipping, which is like it was a competitor to Bilibili. So their team was always reaching out to me to upload onto Xigua, which is kind of like it's kind of like YouTube. So Douyin came out, and then I was one of the top creators on Bilibili, and they were like, I'll pay you to come over. I think they were offering like $200 a video.
Just like a brand deal?
No, just to re-upload.
Oh, wow.
Just to move my videos over there, and I was like, nah. I just still wouldn't do it.
Because it had a bad like name to it, or it just...
Yeah, it seemed it was a very low platform. You know what I mean? Like...
It was embarrassing.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
Right.
It's like if you're seen like promoting that, it seems like,
that's insane.
It's not great. So
you saw like the beginning of like ByteDance, and then like as they just like grow bigger and bigger.
Yeah. So I had some friends. Like I have a good friend, it's an account called 信誓旦旦, and he moved over there very early, and I was like, you're an idiot, And then I think he got to like 100 million, some crazy amount of followers, and he completely outgrew me. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty. And I realized like I'm so like skeptical to new things sometimes. And that's when like even when Douyin came out with the e-commerce side, I was like, that's dumb. It's never gonna work.
Yeah. Well, what did that look like the first time they came out with the e-commerce side? What did it look like? Was it like pencils and things like TikTok Shop was? Or?
Well, I think, when was COVID? Like 2020? 2020? Like 2018, 2019, I remember seeing some versions of it on Taobao. And I remember like some people were buying from it. Wasn't really popular. It was like a bit strange. No one really understood live streams. Basically how it is now. And everyone's like, this is dumb. Right. Why would I buy through that? It doesn't make any sense.
It was the same thing in China back then.
Yeah, exactly the same thing. And I was the same. I'm like, and I saw people going live, and most of my friends didn't do it because we were creators. Like we were like, brand deals. We had these followers that wanted to see funny videos from us.
Exactly the way it is now with my followers. and things,
Why would
yeah.
I be seen selling like a pencil? Like, get out of here.
It's the way my sister is too. Yeah, she's a big YouTuber.
So I know exactly what they're thinking.
Yeah.
And I know that they're just never going to do it.
Right.
Unless it gets to the point where it's now okay.
Right, where it gets cool.
Yeah, and that's not for a long time. So Douyin started. Basically, the creators on Douyin that saw results were not creators in the beginning. They were exactly the same as TikTok.
Like now.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
They were not good at making
Because the big creators
videos.
had ego.
Yeah, they would
Like
not do it.
now.
Yeah, like me.
Wow.
I'm not doing it.
Right.
And also, because the thing is, I know even if I did it and I didn't sell, how does that make me look?
Right.
You know what I mean? My fans don't really buy from me. But that's the whole problem with social media is the attribution. Even when I remember when I was making videos, I would get like a brand deal. I'd get like 100,000 views. I have no idea if I sold a single unit.
Right.
I have no idea. I don't care.
Just making the money.
Not my job.
Yeah.
But from a brand perspective, as soon as you know who's actually attributing to your sales, you're going to double down. The issue previously is the platforms would not have a closed loop system. So that what they would do, creator makes a video, they sell to Amazon or they go to Shopify website. So the platform doesn't know if they converted. They barely even know some of them don't even know if they clicked on it. Like, did they click on it? Don't know, maybe. And so what would happen is there was these third-party platforms that would track the website, see how many more views they got, and see if it made a conversion. But most brands were doing deals with like hundreds of thousands of creators. They have different marketplaces. They're doing offline ads. Did that conversion come from that creator? No one knows. So the attribution model was broken. And that's really the problem that TikTok Shop is solving.
Direct tracking.
Yeah, attribution is very, very transparent on TikTok Shop. And once you have that, and you have a very strong algorithm.
So when ByteDance was creating that first app in China, and they brought in social commerce, was the algorithm as good over there as it is TikTok Shop is here?
Yeah.
It was just as good back then.
The algorithm was good. That was the game changer. Was not only was the algorithm good, the way that people made content completely changed, because like as a creator on Bilibili, we're using like a expensive Sony camera. It cost me $1,000 or whatever, and then I'm going home. I have to be a really good editor as well. I have to know the rhythm. I have to be pretty technical.
Yeah.
On Douyin, it's all in the app. Open it up, take a video, upload. I can't remember what their slogan was, but I think it was something like "Share your life." It wasn't anything about having like high quality content. It's just like, no, just share your life, and I will figure out which one of these videos will make other people like interested.
Right.
So that's kind of where it came from.
I think that's what TikTok has that YouTube used to have. Anybody could upload on the app and you were fine. But when creators like Mr. Beast came out, you had to keep upping more money, more higher quality, more. So now people know that, hey, I'm just going to upload one banger video on Saturday and that's it.
Yeah.
And now, like, you go to TikTok because there's not enough stuff to watch on. I mean, I find there's not enough stuff to watch on YouTube anymore. The creators aren't uploading.
Yeah.
They're doing maybe one video a month, but it has to be a banger. Whereas TikTok, you can just pick up your phone and that's the meta. Like, that's how everybody does it.
Yeah. I don't hate the model on YouTube though, because TikTok's like a lot of low quality. I scroll for 2 hours. Don't tell me what I watched because I have no recollection of anything.
Yeah.
But on YouTube, it's like, again, if you're like doing any B2B ads, YouTube's still the place to go because like I'm going to search this. I want some information. I want some high quality stuff. I think it's just different, and I don't think anyone is. It's just different purposes: more entertainment, more informational, inspirational. TikTok's maybe more community,
Relatable.
more relatable.
That's insane. So I've seen a couple of podcasts of yours. Somebody told me that you're in China, you're doing the social shopping, you got involved somehow. Like, how do you get involved with them? And then you took it back to the UK or something like that? How did that happen?
Yeah, so I started Outlandish in 2018, originally as an MCN. So the actual name,
Multi-channel network.
Multi-channel
So you would
network.
do like American MCMs like Studio 71 in them, where you would put premium ads on creators' videos and give them brand deals and stuff.
Yeah, I was helping creators to monetize their accounts by increasing the quality of their production and their output. We had like film crews that would go out and film them. So we were trying to be effectively the Mr. Beast production, and it was a great idea. I still think it was a great idea.
That would be a great idea here.
Yeah.
In America right now.
If I wasn't canceled, it probably would have worked.
So that's the other thing that I wasn't going to bring up. But the reason you stopped doing full-time creator is because you had something go down where you...
I got full-on canceled. I was probably the first person to get canceled in China.
Was it like...
like full-on...
Was it like as bad as like the Logan Paul like in America, or...
I wouldn't say it was that bad, but I was maybe getting 1,000 hate messages a minute.
Was
like
it...
just bam.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And you just had to shut it all off.
I didn't shut it all off because I was kind of angry. You know what I mean? Like I didn't feel like I deserved it, so I would just continue through the hate for like a year, and then I just it wears you down.
Right.
The hate. If you look at like a ton of hate comments every day, eventually my content, you could see it in my content that I wasn't enjoying it as much, and my fans were kind of like getting bullied, and I was like, all right.
That's crazy that it kept up for a year, because I feel like in America you can
That's
get
still
canceled and it only lasts for the weekend, and then after that people forget. Like I've had like creators try to come at me and say stuff, but it only lasts like a day and then it's over.
Yeah.
The fact that it happened and it still went on for a year is crazy.
I think the problem is it got shared very virally without any context and a lot of libel, a lot of fake news. Like literally, like the most ridiculous things.
Trying to get clicks.
Like he's a racist, he hates China.
Are you that bad?
Yes, like really bad. Obviously, none of it's true, but it got shared everywhere.
Right.
And at the time, there was a very like anti-foreigner sentiment in the country. So I was basically scapegoated for anyone that hated foreigners.
Wow.
So yeah, it like...
That is insane.
I eventually sued these media companies and won in Chinese courts, but it takes a long time to go through the process. People aren't really looking for facts. They just want an outlet for their hate. Mm-hmm. And I just became the outlet because I was the biggest foreigner in China and they thought these things about me. So that happened.
That's insane. So this happens, and then at that point you're like, I'm gonna step back and go into the business side of things.
Yeah, but because I already started the MCN, and it was going well, and even like some of the creators that I brought on are now huge creators. My editor is now one of the biggest creators on the platform. He's got like 5-6 million followers.
Wow.
And a lot of people that were making content with me, they're huge now.
Does that make you angry that they're still doing it?
No, it makes me happy. Because I think I inspired a lot of people to get into it. Even now, you go back to like some of the OG creators in China. Like I still chat with a lot of them.
Do you feel like you deserve more credit though?
It doesn't matter. No.
Your mindset is insane. I feel like people need to literally shine the light on everything you've done and everything you're building, but you're like extremely humble where you don't really feel the need to like shine the light on it. And that's really why I wanted to...
I think in the beginning I was angry. Like I was like, what? Like I do not deserve this.
Right.
And that's why I just wouldn't, because if you ask any PR company, they would say like, don't do what you did. Like
right, of course.
argue with them directly. I would
course.
make like videos like combating it. But it's because I felt like a victim, but they thought I was it was just a mess. So I kind of had to go through this period where I had to kind of get over my ego in a way and just step back and think like, it's just social media. Because when you're really involved in your channel and like you put your heart and soul, it's everything. And then that disappears overnight, you can't accept it.
No.
It takes a long time.
Right.
So it probably took me like 6 to 12 months to kind of fully step out and then reconfigure what I wanted to do.
And you realize that you want to double down on the MCN at that point.
I couldn't. No, because the MCN was reliant on my face, as in like, how would I get these creators to
that
get
was
bigger?
your funnel.
Yeah, I was doing videos.
So
with
you
them.
were essentially in China. You were essentially building the Jake Paul you were building the Team 10.
Yeah, and
So you were the big one, and then you were.
The other issue is in the US, Logan Paul can still be successful because you can be the heel, you can be the hated guy.
Right.
In China, you cannot be the hated guy. Like your account gets deleted. You cannot be hated.
Wow.
There is one of the reasons that I also wanted to leave the China market is because of this. I'm quite an opinionated person. I don't like to be told what to do all the time. I understand, like, occasionally, okay, whatever, like, I'll follow the rules, but I don't like the fact that I have to. And so it was, I don't want to get too political, but it was getting a little bit uncomfortable to me in the market as a whole.
Right.
Around the 2018, things were changing. I'm not going to get into it because I'll get recancelled, but so you can't be the heel. You can't monetize from AdSense. You will be deleted from the internet. So I was lucky I wasn't deleted. And the only reason I wasn't deleted is because I was the first person that got cancelled and the platforms didn't know what to do. Now, if it happened, the account would have been deleted after one day.
So, okay. So then how do you go about with Outlandish DMCN?
Yeah, so I went behind the scenes completely. So I no showing my face. I just did production. I got very into commercials and directing. I even took some classes. I started getting more technical into production. And so I actually ended up building this like production studio. At one point,
wow.
I had like 20 editors. And this is when COVID came out.
Right.
Social commerce started getting more popular. I was keeping an eye on it. But actually, a lot of my focus was in online courses, which, by the way, trend coming up. Online courses.
In America.
Yeah, it will be huge in the next few years, and I will be involved. So I made, fun fact, I made the #1 selling Japanese language course for Chinese people.
That's nuts.
And I edited it myself.
That is insane. So
Yeah.
you have, so what's fueling your production company at this time?
You mean
Like financially?
bootstrapped? We just bootstrapped. So we would get contracts. Oh, no, wait. I did have one investor. I had an investor, one of the video platforms invested in me.
Wow.
I was actually about to get invested by Bilibili, the top platform, and they called me and were like, we can't invest in you. And
The top platform was going to invest in you?
yeah. Like it was literally like about to be signed, and then I got cancelled.
Wow.
And I actually had an office right next to their office as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, had a 1-year lease. I was like,
That's crazy. Oh my gosh, that's insane. Yeah. I feel like people see what you built now and they think it's just an overnight, but they don't realize that you've had all of this massive journey. And so you're doing the production stuff, then how does it lead to the social shopping?
Yeah, so I had friends that started getting in social. To be honest, in China, I wasn't super involved in social shopping. I was more involved in production.
Okay.
So I did a couple of live productions from the back end, like literally setting up and streaming, but mostly video production. So I did some stuff. I did some campaigns for like FedEx, Starbucks, Lululemon. And one of our clients was TikTok. And our job for TikTok was to make essentially fake TikTok videos. And then they would advertise that video on YouTube and Facebook to get people to download TikTok.
TikTok in what country are you in at this point?
US.
TikTok US.
I was in China, but I was producing.
Oh, because they were moving to the US at this time.
They were trying to get people to download their app, specifically like over 45-year-olds. So they were outsourcing production to agencies like mine. We would make content, and then they would use that to upload to platforms to download their app.
So that's how you begin the relationship with TikTok.
Yeah, and I've just been in the industry for a while, and some of my friends worked at the UK TikTok, and at that point, this was 2021.
Okay.
Around 2021, I got a message. I think it was beginning of 2022, end 20, I can't remember. He sent me a message and said, TikTok Shop is about to open in the UK. You're from the UK. You understand. Do you want to join the Alpha program as an agency in the UK? And as I mentioned at that point, I was kind of looking to make a move. I've been in China over 10 years at that point.
Right.
And so I
Ready
was
for
like,
something different.
yeah. So I was like, okay, I get it. I know how to do it. Let's do it. So 2022, I was the first agency outside of China to open up a TikTok Shop agency.
Wow. You're the first one in the UK.
Yeah. The first two markets were the Philippines and the UK. I didn't do the Philippines. I went to the UK.
Right.
Yeah. So we started up in October 2022.
So, and then what happened during that time that you were in the UK to now in the US?
So the UK, it was an interesting time. We were basically contracted almost as a production house. So we were contracted to produce live streams and find presenters. So it was very different. The agency model was very different. It was very much more like a contract. So I hired a bunch of people. I think I had like 40 people in the UK at one point.
40 people that are under you?
Yeah. And we only did live streams at that time.
No videos.
Eventually we did do videos, but mainly live streams. So we had 6 live stream rooms, and each room we live streamed for like 8 hours a day. So we did quite a lot of live production.
What were some of the challenges that you went through when you first started that first ever live agency with like hiring? And what are some lessons that you learned?
Because we were essentially educating the market. Like in the alpha stage, no one understood what was happening. The biggest problem was literally in the beginning was educating people on how to buy and to trust TikTok. Mm-hmm. That was the biggest problem. They didn't trust the platform. And that happened for a little bit in the US, but the UK was a lot worse. Because at least in the US, maybe they've heard about it or something. Back then, everyone thought we were even scamming them. They were like, what do you mean I can buy on TikTok? Never heard of it. And we're like, no, literally, seriously, it's legit. They're like, I don't put my credit card details into this platform. So it took like months to even get over that problem. And the UI was a little bit different. And then a big problem was product sourcing as well. So we had to basically figure out how to onboard sellers to the platform and then convince the sellers it's a good idea, firstly, and then convince them to do discounts on live streams, which is a whole other ballgame, and then produce the live streams and sell and make a commission. And kind of went through that whole journey.
And then ultimately, why did you move from the UK to the US?
Because a couple of reasons. The UK, I copied the China model a little bit too closely.
Okay.
The China model for live stream is very labor intensive because labor in China is a lot cheaper. Whereas in the UK, it's quite expensive, same as the US. So my whole org structure, in my opinion, is set up incorrectly. It was actually very difficult for me to restructure the company. As in, basically everyone I hired, in my opinion, was almost in the wrong position. We would have 3 people in a live stream room, and so our GMV per hour would have to be above £500, and that just was not happening. And what I realized, and what TikTok realized, was Douyin kind of grew incredibly quickly during the COVID era. Like during COVID, live stream shopping became very popular in China. In the UK, it wasn't COVID. Why would they change their consumer habit to watch live stream like immediately? It was going to take time. It's going to take a lot of time. So I realized I needed to, firstly, not dive into live stream immediately in the market. I needed to concentrate on affiliates and teach affiliates on how to make good videos. And I needed to have a good ad team. And I needed to do a lot of training in the beginning. So when I opened up in the US, I did a completely different model. And I actually shut down the UK company completely until I reopened it like 6 months ago.
Oh, you still have it now?
I reopened it,
okay.
Yeah. But I couldn't concentrate on the UK market when we were break even, but it wasn't right. I just didn't feel right. I feel like the market was too small. It was growing too slowly. I'm going to concentrate on the US and do it right. So when I heard the US was opening, I immediately flew over to LA and I met with TikTok and I said, you have to have me as an agency. I know exactly what to do.
There was not even an agency back then.
No,
you were the first agency?
Yeah, the TikTok Shop team had 2 people. Yeah.
Was that no, I don't know if he wants me to say his name on here, but I think I might know one of them. But
You
we'll
can
talk
say
about
it.
that
I don't
later.
know. It was Owen and Jeff.
They were the first 2. So you're meeting with the first 2 people of TikTok Shop.
Yeah.
That's nuts. I'm trying to see if I can find our messages on Lark. I'll show you him later.
But I remember
you
they
definitely know him.
because they interviewed agencies in the beginning and like, are they able to do it? And I was just clearly knowing more than they did about it because I've just been doing it for
That's
like 2
what
years.
I hear. So, and what I try to tell people is like, Will is the guy that TikTok doesn't teach him TikTok Shop. He teaches TikTok Shop.
Yeah, in some aspects, I don't want to take all
Right,
the credit.
you're not like the king and everybody, but you have so much more experience because you had spent time over there.
Yeah.
And so what made you figure out the US is going to be a way bigger opportunity than what you're building in the UK?
It's very simple. The same amount of cost, because one live stream is still the same cost if I do it in the UK or in the US.
Right.
But the US market is what, 10 times bigger, maybe more, and the spending power is
Smart.
higher.
Yeah.
Like why? It would make so much more
Why would you
sense.
stay on the smaller? That's insane. So you come to LA. You're meeting with the first 2. Where do you go from there?
I mean, the next step was I needed to move over. I had to get my work visa. That's a pain in the ass, by the way. Like coming a work visa applying under
Right.
my own company, it like took me ages to work that out. But anyway, I figured that out. And then I started one live stream in the US with Julian, who's Julian. I think a lot of people know him.
Yeah.
He's still with us.
Still with you guys.
Yeah. So we would live stream from there and just slowly build. But at the same time, we built out our seller training program because I realized in the UK market that in the beginning, the sellers will go live by themselves. They have no problem with it. They just have no idea what to do. And I don't have any cost.
Right.
I just teach them how to do it. Maybe I'll take a small fee. Maybe I'll take a commission on their sales. But I can have visibility over the market as well. So I got on around 1,000 sellers in the US market, and we trained 1,000 sellers on how to sell. And our goal was to grow the market with TikTok Shop as fast as possible. And the easiest way, in my opinion, to do that was not to produce it myself in the beginning, but to help them basically for free until they grew the market to a big enough size that it makes sense for me to jump in from the production. So, because you have to think about the way the agency makes money is they take a retainer plus a commission on sales.
Right.
If in the beginning of the market they're making $20 an hour, I'm making $2.
Yeah. Right.
So they
But it was
need
the
to
long-term vision.
Yeah, the long term I knew it was going to work.
Right.
I saw even in the UK now it's doing very well.
Yeah.
It's really the live streams are picking up. In the UK, I went back a few months ago. The live streams are making more than the US.
Really?
GMV per hour is higher in the UK than it is in the US on a lot of live streams, including creator live streams.
Do you think they're just getting used to it?
They're just getting used to it. They're just 2 years
So
ahead.
it just takes time.
Yeah. If the UK is the same as the US right now, how big is the US going to be in 2 years
Right. For live streaming.
for live streaming?
Are they even doing videos in the UK anymore? Or is it just live?
They are, but I would say live is a lot stronger in the UK. I think last time I checked my own data, I think it's like 30 or 40% of GMV is coming through live streams now in the UK.
Wow, that's huge.
And in the US, I don't. Is it half of that? I don't know.
And in China, are they even doing videos anymore? Or is it all live?
They do videos, but live stream is a lot more popular. And in China, it's mainly celebrity lives.
Okay.
Which is kind of the last step of the evolution, where everything gets really competitive, and then out pop a few just superstars.
And that's what I try to tell TikTok affiliates now is like, I think there's going to be an evolution, like kind of how YouTube was, and like how you could just pick up your phone and make 6 figures a month. Then Mr. Beast came, and then like bigger figures, and it's like that's going to happen on TikTok.
Yeah.
So we need to be ready, and we need to keep upping the quality and stay with the top person, because if you're not, you're going to fall behind.
Yeah. Everything ends up being like a hockey stick, especially like if you're a brand, if you're a seller, you want to work with the top creator. Like in China right now, the top live seller in China charges $30,000 per slot in his shopping cart and 15% commission. Considering his shopping cart has 30 to 50 slots, he's immediately just making $250,000 without lifting a finger every day.
every day.
Yeah.
That is insane. So you start Outlandish, and you're training the sellers. When do you get an actual brick and mortar, and how do you start building out the live stream sets? And like, do you have investors? How does this go about?
Yeah. So in the UK, when I was doing live streams, I was figuring it out. And what I realized was we had too many people involved. Firstly, not necessary. I could cut out people, and the GMV would stay the same. So obviously, it wasn't used. It wasn't. There was no point.
Right.
Like, I'm just wasting money. The other thing I realized was we were essentially building fake shops in warehouses and offices.
Mm-hmm.
We designed it to look like a shop because you need it to look like a shop so that people realize on first impression I can buy. Otherwise, because otherwise you get too many entertainment
crazy.
viewers.
That's genius. I've never thought of that.
It's not about, because you don't really want it to look like a shop,
Right?
but you have to, because otherwise they don't know they can buy.
That's insane.
And then you get the wrong traffic.
Right.
So we had to design things that look like a shop. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, like, I'm from Portsmouth, which is the south of the UK, and high streets are literally dead. Like, everything's shut down. And I walked down Oxford Street and shops are shutting down. I walked, like, in the UK, I'm like, retail is struggling. And I'm like,
everything's shutting down and going into live in the UK?
No. I mean, there's just the high streets are dying. People aren't buying offline as much. Especially like experimental, like, shopping, like obviously supermarkets, Target, Walmart, and the equivalent in the UK, they do fine. Mm-hmm. But like shopping streets are not doing okay. Like fashion brands.
Like, you're not just walking down the street window shopping.
No, because they make a lot more sales online, and they're just losing money offline.
That's crazy.
And so I was thinking, well, if we're making it look like a shop, and we have to hire staff, and we are getting a lot of exposure, why aren't we just doing it in a shop? Why don't we just do it in a shop? That makes sense to me.
Right.
And so I did a couple of tests in the UK. I did some pop-up shops in Oxford Street with some brands, like activations, where I would rent a shop and I would live stream from the shop. And people offline would walk in and they were mesmerized by it. They were like, this is awesome. What is going on here? And they would like watch it. They would follow us on TikTok, and then they would buy on TikTok or they would buy offline if we were offering it. And I'm like, this model to me makes so much sense. Like, firstly, people shop nowadays offline, not because they want to buy, but because they want an experience. They want to do something. They want to post on their social media. They don't want to stick on their phones all day. It's boring. Like, it's like entertaining, but not all day. Right. I want something to do. I want to meet my friends offline. I want something to do. And so I tried to build it in the UK, but the live streams just still weren't there. And I couldn't really find any investors that were interested. And so I was like, all right, put that to the side. Let's move to the US. So I went to the US, and I kind of built the agency side before the live side. Mm-hmm. Like, so I had like affiliate networks. I had an ad team. I had a training team. I had a live team, account management, shop management. So like brand, we don't just do live streams. We do like full shop service. Right. Basically, e-commerce, Amazon brand comes to us. I need to do TikTok. I don't understand TikTok. Can you do it for me? Yes, this is how much it costs. Okay. In the first 3 months, if like what I usually say, in the first 3 months, if you don't see results, I will fire you, because we're performance-based. Mm-hmm. If we don't see results in the first 3 months, it's probably your fault. It's not my fault. Because I can guarantee you the right amount of views with the right creators or the right video content or live stream content. Right. If it doesn't sell, it's probably a product problem.
You have the well-oiled machine, and then you figure out what's wrong with it.
Yeah. And so that was the model that we did, or we still do. It still works quite well. And then, I don't know where I was going with that.
What was your, so then at what point do you decide to get a brick and mortar?
Oh, okay. So.
And why, like, yeah. So, I mean, I guess the biggest thing, and I feel like the biggest question that people always have is like, if you guys are doing so well online, why would you you have prime real estate. You pay so much. I don't know how much, if you want to share that, I don't know how much you pay for your space.
It's pretty expensive.
But it's got to be insane. It's a massive store. Yeah. Why get a storefront when you could just have a warehouse somewhere?
Yeah. So there's a few reasons for that. So the first thing, I'll tell you how we got the store. So one of my clients was FHI Heat, the Unbrush.
Okay.
And TikTok had this incentive plan where TikTok would basically match them with an agency, and they picked Outlandish because we seemed the most aggressive, basically. And we went into their live stream. They were currently doing $20 an hour, and we were like, I think this is what we changed. Let's change this. Let's do this. And we got them up to $1,000 an hour in GMV. So from $20 to $1,000.
Wow.
And so I was, chatting to the founders, and they were like pretty impressed, obviously. And I was like, look, I had this idea a long time ago. I think live stream is the future. It's not there yet, but it will be there in the next 5 years. And I think it should be in retail for XYZ reasons. And they were like, fuck it, let's do it. And then so now they're my business partners.
Okay.
So that's the Dodo group.
So they invested in
Yes.
your agency because of the success.
Yes.
So the Unbrushed people own Dodo as well?
So the Dodo
Chocolates?
Chocolates is a joint venture between me and them.
Okay.
As we were doing so well on our own brands, we thought, why can't we do it with a new brand?
Mm-hmm.
So we did a test with Dodo Chocolates.
Right.
And then that became like the #1 in the food and beverage category in 3 months.
So you start getting investors. That was your first client. And then you just go crazy building the live sets.
Yeah, so in my opinion, the live shop isn't just about live streams. It never was just about live streams. People don't realize the amount of exposure you get on a live stream, and they do not value it as much as they should.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why. It's very frustrating to me as someone that is very interested in live stream. I'll give you an example from the UK market. I would have one live stream. I say, I'll guarantee you, I'll get you $30,000.
Right.
It will cost you, let's just say, $5,000 to $10,000. But I guarantee you $30,000. Not only that, I guarantee you'll get 5 million views. They will say, sounds expensive, right? And I'll go, this creator here, 100,000 followers, don't know if he'll make any GMV, $5,000 video. Are you interested? Yeah. And I was like,
ROI.
guys.
Right.
So that misconception is still there, by the way.
So in China, are they still doing brand deals, or is the brand deals, do creators not get brand deals anymore, and they just do social shopping?
The top creators get good brand deals. The low to mid tier don't get as many.
Because they know that they would rather pay them to do social shopping.
But there's no ROI. They'll pay them, and they don't know what they're going to get.
Right.
But with this creator, they have a pretty solid guarantee. If I pay them 10 grand, they'll get me 30, and they'll get me this much exposure.
I think that's what's going to come to the US is like the creators that are getting all their money from brand deals are when you can track how much sales are doing, they're not going to have any more brand deals because it's going to get shined to the light that, hey, we've been giving you all of our money and you're not making any sales.
Yeah. And by the way, this transition is already happening. You can see it by the top selling e-commerce creators are now charging a retainer to work with them. Previously, it would be like, oh, they're making a ton of commission anyway. I don't need to pay them a retainer. This is exactly what happened in the UK, where it went from almost, I have to pay you a retainer and the commission doesn't matter. And it went from, I can pay you a commission and no retainer. And now it's like, I need to pay you a retainer and a commission because I know you can get me sales.
Right.
So the next stage is just a more extreme version of that.
More money.
Yeah.
So why the storefront?
So it's not just about the live streams. It's about the omni-channel experience. So you got the online traffic where we can basically guarantee your ROI. But not only are we getting an ROI on your sales, you're getting offline sales, offline traffic. You're getting exposure in a high traffic high street where an online brand doesn't have any physical presence. Right. So you can send a creator to an offline space. You can send the creator to the live stream. Any other agency, you're going to send them to a warehouse. You're going to send them to the back of an office, right. And they're going to feel very uncomfortable. Here, prime location, everyone wants to go there. They can walk into the shop, join the live stream, make a video, and then leave. So the creator aspect is there. Not only that, is we can have events. So we have a 15-foot LED screen where a brand can do a mega live. Mm-hmm. They can bring in their celebrity or their creator and do it there. But every month, we're going to be doing a massive creator event. So the purpose of this space is not just for online sales, it's offline sales, it's affiliate exposure, it's new customers. You're having multiple different customer channels coming in, and you're educating creators and affiliates on how they can get involved too.
Right. What are the top 3 biggest celebrities that you've had come do TikTok Shop?
Nicki Minaj, Jason Derulo,
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart or Hannah Berner. Yeah. But, yeah.
How is it? How does the Kevin Hart stream go? When Kevin Hart came and he was selling goalie, how was that whole experience with Kevin Hart coming to TikTok Shop?
So Kevin Hart wasn't us doing everything. That was with another agency. So we didn't produce that one. But Allison, our live host, did go in to the live stream and did very well on the sales. So I don't think I can talk too much about that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. No worries. Without getting into details, I'm just curious. Like, what's the perception of most celebrities that you meet? Like, how do they feel about TikTok Shop right now?
They're very interested. I had a conversation. I think I can talk about this. I had a conversation with Jason Derulo, and Jason Derulo is a super nice guy, by the way. Like, he's very down to earth. And I had a phone call with him, and he said, like, he's been following Asian markets. He's very interested in doing live shopping. He was one of the first people on TikTok before it was popular.
Right.
So he kind of gets it. Jason Derulo gets it. But I think there's a time where it makes more sense for a celebrity to dive in stronger. You know, they're kind of dipping their toes in a little bit, testing the waters and seeing how people react. So right now, but it's the same with everything. Like, it's never going to be like, you know, top celebrity drops Hollywood, goes onto the live stream, 100% order on TikTok Shop. Never happen. It would never happen. Right. It's a progression. It starts with small creators, mid-tier creators, and then bigger creators. And then celebrities will try it, and then celebrities will be more involved. You see, Jackson Wang has been doing a lot of live streams recently. He's massive in China, and he's now doing TikTok Shop lives. Yeah.
If I'm a massive content creator, trying to think, like, if I'm the FaZe Clan and I want to do TikTok Shop, am I making more money having my own product and selling that, or being an affiliate?
Probably with them, their own product.
Okay.
It depends on why people follow you. Artists sell their own product much better than affiliate products, like 1,000% better. Because taking from my previous experience as a creator, when I tried to sell something, generally I could only sell my own merch. And even then it was a struggle because I'm not that famous.
Right.
But when it comes to artists, musicians, people that follow you because of you, you sell your merch much better than affiliates at the moment, unless you're known for selling, which kind of will not easily transition from a big creator being known for making funny videos, or an artist that's being known for their music, to being known for selling high quality products at a cheap price.
Right.
That's kind of that's a big transition. It's not there yet, but it has happened in Asian markets. But it takes dedication, and a lot of people think that Douyin e-com happened organically. It did not happen organically. There wasn't anything organic about it. Lo Yonghao, because he's kind of like the celebrity creator. He went live like 3 times a week for months. And I don't know how well he did in the beginning, but I know for a fact that it didn't just explode. I think it went okay, and then it slowly built up as people trusted him more and saw him more as a seller rather than a celebrity or a big creator.
Right. If I'm Logan Paul, why hasn't Logan Paul put Prime on TikTok Shop yet? If it's making so much money and it's a natural way for a creator to sell.
I genuinely think they just don't know how to. I think they would do very well. I think they have no experience and they don't know how to, which is like a lot of sellers. Most sellers are in that situation. I want to do it. How do I do it?
Right.
It's kind of like if a brand went to me and said, "Oh, I want you to sell on whatnot," or no, not whatnot. It's kind of like if a brand went to me and said, "I want you to run my Amazon I'll be like, it's not really my thing. Like I'm a TikTok, a content guy. I don't really know how to. It's the same thing with these other brands. They're very good at Amazon. They're very good at whatever Logan Paul sells on, but their team probably has no idea how to do TikTok Shop.
I almost feel like there's an opportunity in the market for me because I as a longtime creator, I'm friends with all these managers and friends of friends who know pretty much everybody in the social media space to connect the bridge and get their team connected with you guys and kind of work something out in that sense, because I think that's a gap that needs to be filled as well because they don't know. And that's kind of why I started this whole Shop House Media, was because, like you said, people do not know what is possible on TikTok Shop right now. They do not know what's going on. If a creator were to put their product on TikTok Shop, like Logan Paul or Mr. Beast's bars, I would dedicate my entire TikTok Shop to them because I know that like it would sell way better. It would be insane.
Yeah, they have the upper funnel exposure,
Right.
which a lot of brands don't have, and it's very expensive, right? I like on TikTok Shop, there's a lot of e-commerce creators that are good at selling it, but most products only sell after they have top of funnel exposure. So it's like, I've seen that product, like Goalie.
Right.
I've seen that product, it's in retail, I understand it, I trust it. And then an e-commerce creator can sell it. But if you don't have that, it's kind of like, well, even if they're selling it, I don't understand what they're selling. There's not enough exposure. So that's why them products should do well. That's why I think Noobs, that candy we were talking about.
Jonas.
Jonas candy.
Yeah.
I think that will sell well very soon.
Let's talk about this. So Jonah from the Vlog Squad comes to you and says, hey, I want to start a candy brand, and I want you to help me get it on TikTok Shop.
Yeah.
How big do you think the potential is, and how rich do you think Jonah's going to get from this venture?
I think there's a lot of potential because he is the top of funnel creator that brands need. Right. So if he's the kind of the face of it, and he has all of his creator friends that can make content about the candy, that top of funnel exposure is sort of resolved by themselves. And that's actually most of the capital. Like if you were going to pay Mr. Beast to endorse a candy brand, firstly, I don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
Secondly, it's probably going to cost a lot of money.
Right.
Where he doesn't need that, and he can produce as much content as he wants. And then you add in the affiliate side that do a lot of the lower funnel, lower funnel sales. Because I don't think, even with Mr. Beast, I don't think he's going to be constantly being like, you have to buy it right now, go to the shopping cart.
No.
He's more like, sponsored by Mr.
I feel like, and it's funny because I don't think we've talked about this, I think that I'm probably the most viral bottom of funnel creator on TikTok. I think I kind of brought a lot of it to the app. Have you heard my voice before? They ripped my voice, and it's ripped over 1 million times. What do you mean the sale ends today? Yes, the sale ends today. This is the last chance to get it. So they ripped my sounds, and it started off with a bunch of foreigners that were like having spam accounts, and they would rip my voice like 10,000 times at a time and just upload.
Yeah.
But now the Americans are like, oh, we can just steal his sound and do faceless. And so I'm making millions of dollars single-handedly from my voice, and I'm not making any money from it.
I've been looking into this model of like music where because you can upload your music as a track.
Right.
And then if everyone uses it, you should get royalties
I
from
have
that.
more uses of my sounds than these top artists. Like one of my sounds is 350,000 videos.
Do you get any royalties from it?
No.
I think you have to upload it somewhere. I'm looking into it right now.
Yeah.
I'm not
if
too
you can help
sure.
me figure this out, we can split or whatever you want
I'll
to do.
share with you what I know.
Yeah, that would be insane. Okay, so Mr. Beast comes to you tomorrow and says, hey, Will, I want you to help me put my chocolates on TikTok Shop. What do you think you could do for his company?
I think, firstly, we need to get his Mr. Beast, like top of funnel content spark codes.
Okay.
And we need to start pushing them top videos to get an audience of who's Mr. Beast's fans. I assume we already know, we already have a lot. He probably has a lot of this data already. And then we need to send out, I would say with Mr. Beast, with Feastables, for example, we can go very aggressive. So we send out 3,000 samples a month, maybe more, maybe 5,000 samples to creators. And we get just a ton of these lower funnel. We also should find the top performing foodie creators And because we've already done a chocolate brand,
Right.
Dodo Chocolates,
Yep.
I reach out to these guys. I don't know if I want to do this now.
Right. No. I get it.
No, I would do it. I would 100%. We actually have another chocolate brand that's launching soon. Not like ours, but it's a big one.
Yeah.
We get these top ones, we get them to do reviews, and we get them to sell. And now we have not only the top of funnel creators, Mr. Beast and all his friends and all the YouTubers, we have 5,000 videos a month, bottom of funnel, with the right promotional strategy. So he would have to have some TikTok exclusive product, I would say.
Right.
I think if he's selling the same product at the same price, they're going to think, well, why don't I just go to Amazon or wherever to buy it?
Right.
And then a lot of brands think, well, that's not an issue, but it is, because the algorithm needs to pick up your product and you need to make sales for the algorithm to push it to more people.
So, like, I've made all my money through bottom of funnel. Like, it was not viral when I started, but it gets the most hate ever right now. Even inside TikTok, they tell me, stop doing that content.
Yeah.
We want higher quality, top of funnel content. So do you almost suggest the way to make the most money as an affiliate is to take a product that is super viral and create bottom of funnel content? And what does good quality bottom of funnel content even look like?
High converting. So bottom of funnel content will always exist because it's kind of the push over the edge. And in a way, live stream is kind of bottom of funnel.
Right.
Live stream is bottom of funnel plus customer service plus entertainment, but
Yep.
it doesn't convert as much as a bottom of funnel video that's super viral. It also converts because GMV Max or the ads will pick up that video, compare it to other videos. So they might watch one video that's like a review, one video that's Mr. Beast, one video that's XYZ, and then they'll push your video and they realize your one's pushing them over the edge.
Yep.
Because they had interest and now they're like, oh shit, I can get it for this price?
Right.
And so they buy it.
Right.
So it's always going to exist. I think the reason that they're a bit skeptical on it is because one, that kind of content, platform level, if you weren't going to buy it, it's not that interesting.
Right.
Secondly, AI is going to replace a lot of that, I think, if it's not already. So you already said loads of people are ripping it, right? And there's people probably using your sound,
Yep.
adding on a sticker, and then just flooding the platform with that content. So there, it will work if you're creative. But I think video AI is going to take a lot of that business,
Right.
which is because it's not once for you. I think it's good because you have the voice, you have the sound, you can do it well. But if other people are doing it, would I suggest for them to do that? Maybe, maybe not. Long term, if it's just the creative side and you're the first person to do it, fine. But they're not going to know who you are and they're not going to buy because it's you. And long term, that's really what you want, is to buy because it's you. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So that won't ever happen if you're making just bottom of funnel content.
So how do you have that balance of both?
You have to show your face and I mean, this is what TikTok want. It's not necessarily the short term. I think the short term, bottom of funnel is still important.
Right.
Long term, I think show your face. So you can just do both.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, when it comes to like a supplement brand, it's so much easier to just talk about the sale than to explain what it is and get those violations.
Yeah.
But I made all my biggest month was I kind of single-handedly would study the analytics of my videos and kind of formulate how I would post content based off of that. And so what I noticed, and this was at the very early stages of affiliate, maybe like 2 months after. So I'm looking at the data and I'm like, when I show my face, I make less sales. When I don't show my face and I just scream into the camera about how good the sale is,
Yeah.
I'm making sales like crazy. So that's all I did for an entire year. And then I think I was like one of the only people to do it. So my video would always beat out everybody else's. And my theory behind it, before anybody even did it, was the algorithm is so good that all these other creators are doing the work for me. They're doing the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
I'm just coming in, reeling it in,
Yeah.
and taking advantage of everything that everybody else was doing. And I'm making the most money because of it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I there was a situation where I negotiated with the company 50% commission. And Black Friday, 50% commission. This was before you could change the ads rate.
Yeah.
So I'm getting 50% commission. It goes into GMV Max, and I'm making 50% GMV Max Black Friday. It was
Supplements?
the most insane. Supplements.
There's no way they're making money from that. The seller.
It was
They're like,
definitely
oh
in
shit,
the red.
because they're paying ads,
Yes.
ad spend,
Yep.
and they're paying you 50%
Yep.
commission.
Yep.
You had a
I'll
good
tell you
day.
who it was. I'll tell you who it was off camera, but let's just say there was a while that I didn't hear from them.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I was doing like 5-figure days, like consecutive, like multiple times. It was ridiculous.
I've heard stories of sellers like going bankrupt because they didn't realize their margins.
Right.
Like it's an actual issue with sellers. One of the things we actually have to go through their cogs and be like, oh, yeah, you can't do that.
Right.
And they like you have to be careful as a seller.
It's insane. So 2025, like moving forward, how can I make the most money as a video creator? Like, how would you optimize my page for success, the best success? Like,
Honestly, in the short term, I wouldn't stop what you're doing.
okay,
Because the algorithm's going to pick up the highest converting lower funnel video. And if you're good at it, don't stop doing it.
right.
But I think long term, you do want to grow an audience that buy because it's you.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you've seen in China and other markets, they'll just take your video, they'll take your voice,
Yep.
they'll even take your face, and they'll try and replicate exactly what you do.
Right.
But they'll have someone else act out the thing. That's actually a model in China, by the way. They have like lots of people doing that in China.
That's insane.
They'll take high performing videos. I'll copy it exactly, but I'll get this actor to do it instead, and I'll pay him $50.
So
So that's why you can't rely on it forever.
right.
They need to buy because it's you.
If you're coaching me to be the #1 TikTok shop creator, what am I doing? Am I focusing more on live? Am I focusing more on videos? For the long term, if we say in a year, I want to be the Mr. Beast of TikTok shop, what would we do?
So I'm a creator, right? And I'm a
Right.
big believer that creators have to be self-motivated if they want to see success.
Of course.
What they lack is probably a team around them to help them get there. So
First, you would say to get an investor so that we can pay a team.
I think you can only move as fast as the platform moves. I've made the mistake of trying to move quicker,
Right.
whether that's in China or in the US or in the UK, and you always just fall into a pit because there's nothing there. You know, you're like trying to push it so hard, you just fall off and you just burn cash.
Right.
So I think you can push, but you can't push too hard. So you just have to, like what you were saying, whatever's working now, don't stop, but slowly try and build your own community, because in the future, the top selling people will be people that buy because it's you.
Right.
So how do you get people to buy because it's you? Well, live stream, videos. I think a lot of people still buy through videos. I think you should start doing live streams. I think you should get the best prices. You should be known as a KOS, key opinion seller. Have you heard of the KOC, KOL, KOS?
No.
Okay, so KOC, it's a Chinese term. So KOC is key opinion consumer. It's the people that buy and say, this was great, you should buy it too, which is the majority of TikTok Shop sellers. And the KOL is the influence, key opinion leader. So it's like, I wore the Crocs, look how cool I am, and then you consider it.
Yep.
The KOS is, I like you, I trust your style, whatever you sell to me, I will buy. And that's the transition from a KOC where you're making lower funnel videos to a KOS where you're not just making lower funnel videos. They trust your opinion. They trust your style. They trust that they're always going to get the best price from you. And you can only gain that trust from time and consistency.
I like the idea of making me the deal guy, right? Like that's always been my whole gist with like YouTube and stuff, is like I would show them the best price on sneakers, go to thrift stores, Ross, Marshalls, etc., getting the best sneakers. Right now I have 2 million followers on TikTok. They get pissed every time I drop a TikTok shop video. They say, we miss you. What happened to you? The bills must be hurting right now. Put the fries in the bag. But if we're making me the top TikTok shop person, would you say that I almost need to start a new page? Or would you say I should just keep going on that page and kind of train them to get used to me just doing that? And this goes out for any influencers out there. If they have an audience of millions of people that know them for a certain thing, if they want to do shop, should they just start a new page or should they transition to their own?
If you don't mind about the people that follow you for a certain reason and then you transition and they don't like you for it. If you don't mind that, I would keep to the same account.
And
Yeah.
do I need to cater? Do you feel like I need to cater more products towards that audience, or does it not matter in the long term? Because right now, I have an audience that is into sneakers, video games, sports, and I'm doing pH gummies.
Because the pH gummies sell because...
And they have high margins.
Yeah, because the algorithm's picking it up,
Yep.
and it's
And it doesn't go to
currently
my
going
audience.
viral. And it's kind of like a short-term model. So I might separate that. And on your channel, be consistent on being the guy that brings the deals on only things that you would buy. People trust your opinion. Go live consistently. Like, I mean, it really depends if you are a live guy or if you're not.
Right.
I am a big believer that people's personality is just different. Some people are good at lives. You can't force
Well,
it.
that's what I tell people is like, I am this character, and I have an alter ego that I turn into this loud, charismatic, confident guy. But when it comes to live, you can't hide that. So I kind of like start like
You'll burn
cracking.
out. You'll burn out.
I start cracking at a certain point.
Then I think it's a personality trait that you cannot train. You can get better at. You can get better at selling. You can get better at being on camera. But you can't really get better at live streaming for 6 hours.
Right.
If it tires you and you don't enjoy it, you can't. You just
Right.
can't. And the best live streamers in China suck at video. And the best video creators sometimes suck at live. Sometimes they're good at live. Sometimes they can convert their audience. There is a very famous creator. I can't remember the name. It's something like Sanjiang, I think. But they were very popular, very viral for their pranks. And they pranked their dad. They're like a couple of guys. And they just got super viral on Douyin by doing live selling and selling the best deals. And they got a lot of traffic support. But I find that very rare. And right now, I think they've stopped selling. So they kind of sort of... But they were kind of known... I don't want to say like... What's his name? Vitaly, like that kind of prank. It wasn't that bad, but it was like that kind of personality where there's like fucking crazy, let's go. But they would put that on for like 2-3 hours and it would work.
Yeah.
But again, I think China's a different market. I think at that point, the Chinese audience was looking for a good deal, recognized them, and bought because they're used to buying on Douyin, and they were just going nuts. Like, this is the best thing, you got to buy it now. And everyone knew them because they were blowing up on TikTok on video.
Right.
But I don't know in the US if it's at that stage yet.
How can I optimize my page to finding a product that I'm always giving the best deal? Is there any tools outside for that? Does Outlandish help with that? Like, where can I?
So long term, that's where I want to position Outlandish. That's why like we're doing a lot of seller lives. Like for the most part, we're doing seller lives, and I want to transition into helping creators. What the other thing about the live shop is, I think eventually most of the people in the live shop will be creators, not sellers. And the service Outlandish will have is we offer you the space. We also offer you the merchandise strategy. So you come in, we can help you with videos, and we say, all right, here's the deals today. Pick what you want. And you're like, all right, let me test this product. This is great. Let me take it home. I'm going to use it for a couple of days so I trust it. And then we will organize the brand deals. Because this is the thing long term that a creator cannot do if they're a solo party or even if they have 2 people. The biggest guy, Li Jiaqi, he has a team of 200 people for his live stream.
200 people?
Yeah.
For one live stream on Shop.
Because they're just live streaming like 8 hours a day, every 20 minutes a new product. There's just no way a person can do that. So that's long term, an agency like Outlandish will stand out. But even I'm not investing in it yet.
Right.
Because we've tried it a couple of times with a couple of creators, we just lost money. Because the GMV is just not quite there.
Right.
If you do it yourself, the GMV is enough that you can make some good money. If I invest as a team of 4 people, it's just not enough money.
Yeah. I think but I would seriously consider moving back to LA if I knew that I could get that kind of support, and I knew that like we were gonna live stream, and I would use the studio. I'd be the first creator to like do it. Do you feel like the creators that are making millions of dollars on TikTok Shop right now and that are like #1, do you feel like they're gonna be the same creators next year?
I think some of them will be. If they were selling like they have a great sales skills. People like them as a person. They're growing their community. There's absolutely no reason they won't be bigger next year.
When all these massive creators come and use TikTok Shop, do you think it's going to wipe out all the little guys?
No, I think it's a acquired skill. It takes time to learn to do it. A big creator, like if they're not used to the platform, they will struggle to adapt. Exactly what happened to me in China. I couldn't adapt. It's just like, it's just it's so uncomfortable. You know how it is. Like in the first time, even now, when I try and do a live stream, I cannot do it. I've done like, I did like last Black Friday, because I'm like everyone else is America. I want to go back home for Thanksgiving, and I got a fucking mega live. I got live for 24 hours. I'm like, I did the night shift.
Oh wow!
I went 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
You did?
Yeah, I was like dying. The next day, I could not speak.
Oh my goodness!
But like,
right,
I can't do that every day. Some people are great at speaking. Some people are just there's a charisma is a skill, and sales is a skill.
Right.
And that's something I'm not the best at.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of big creators, it's not their skill. They have a creative skill, which is obviously important. But when it comes to like live stream, it's more about being charismatic, being likable, building a community, and you can't fake it.
Right.
You just can't fake it.
Yeah, you can't. How much money do you think Kai Cenat could be making if he decided to start streaming on TikTok Shop and selling things?
TikTok might hate me for saying this. I think he'd make more money on Twitch right now. I think he would sell.
Built up his own thing.
People would be confused.
Right.
People would be like, "What? He's okay. Why do you watch him? Because he's entertaining. Would you buy from him? Maybe, but maybe not. He's not known for being. You know who would be the best seller?
Who?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump would be the best seller.
Imagine
on TikTok
if
Shop.
he came on and was like, "Guys, you have to buy this. This is the best." You know, he would just kill it.
Right.
I'm not like.
It's like a cult.
I'm from the UK. I can say that.
Right. It's like so. Do you feel like people with cult fan bases?
100%. Yeah. You know who else? I have a hit list of like the top few people. Britney Spears. I think her fan base would buy anything that she sells.
You think she could crush on TikTok Shop?
She would crush it so hard. Imagine if she went live and was like, "Guys, I'm starting my shop." Everyone would buy.
It'd be insane.
They would sell out.
Yeah. I mean, I think more celebrities need to jump on this. Do you think that you're going to be the first ever social commerce? Well, I don't want to say first ever. Do you think that you are going to be the first social commerce billionaire in America?
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
I'm the agency, right? I mean, I wish I was the creator. I'm just not that good.